But I just wanted to chime in. Yo, things seem to be going down. A lot of things changing and moving rapidly. Um, but it's not, isn't it to be expected because this is the election year. This is the changing of the guard. And it seems to me like when you're dealing with a country like the US that has international and national implications, a lot of things start happening because people recognize the time of day it is, right? That's how that's how against each other the two political parties are not really against each other. I would say the Republicans are against the Democrats. I would say the Democrats are just for average people. They're not necessarily against Republicans because they're always goddamn working with them. And Republicans never want to work with Democrats. They ravel and laugh about it in hard times. Just they smile in your face while people are being thrown out on the street. And I think that is really the record of the Republican Party. They're going to look you in the face while bad things happen to you, while they tell you we're going to do bad things. And healthcare is something MAGA Mike Johnson, as soon as they found out Trump won the election, he went out there. He's the leader of the Republicans in the House, right? He went out there. MAGA Mike Johnson went out there and bragged about how he was going to gut, put a flame torch to Obamacare, something they named Obamacare, to give it some kind of phobic, life in your minds, to spookify it. They call it Obamacare. No, it's really called the American Healthcare Act, right? But this is the thing. What these same Republicans, what did they say about Jan 6? What did they elect a president who said he's going to pardon Jan 6 participants? People died. Was it political? And what kind of political was it? Was it Republican? Was it Democrat? Or was it just anti-American, anti-establishment, anti-government, yeah, democracy? Was it anti-democracy, Jan 6? Because they killed, people died as a result. Police officers were injured and died. And a couple other people. There was some real serious things going on with that. And Trump says he's going to pardon these people. Okay, so how does Trump feel about the CEO just being murdered um, in the streets? How does he feel about that? Is that political in his mind suddenly? Like, and so that what I'm asking you is like, I'm not saying that's what it was, but people are putting two and two together, even if they're not already fact. People can easily put some facts together and align some facts, even, just to see what it looks like, what it could be. And what it looks like is that no matter what you say, this CEO came into that company in 20 or in 21, I think. And in that first year or so, the company had record profits in the billions, and at that same time had doubled the amount of refusals from payers, people that had signed up for their health care, had doubled the amount of refusals that they gave in the same time. So I'm just saying that happened all in 1 year, roughly, under one executive, you know. So who knows? And but if it is that political? And if that's political, why isn't Jan 6 political? And what I mean by political is people will say it's political violence. But not all the time. We see, not all the time. Did they call Jan 6 political violence? Is that what the courts found? Is that what the Republicans found? Is that what the Supreme Court found? What is that? Is that what Trump has found? Or is Jan 6 not political violence and only something like, possible anger at companies that are robbing American citizens, making record profits when American citizens have been telling them and everyone else, hey, we don't have all this. Where do you expect all this money to just come from? You know, you have it all. The CEOs have it all, right? I mean, these types, because these salaries that these guys are getting are loads. They're loads. On the average, I think they say American company CEOs, they went up something like 3,000% in our lifetime, right? What, how much a CEO gets paid in comparison to the average worker? That has gone up like 3,000 times an hour for a CEO when you average it out today. So you see, in one lifetime, CEOs are making 3,000 times more than the worker would for an hour's work. You see, so that's the kind of place people are living in. I mean, check the data out yourself, and let me know if I'm wrong about that. But tell me, what do you think about this? I mean, I know that Trump always talks about leftists in a derogatory way. Trump uses anything to just, get ahead one step. So you can't really believe what he says, but you can't disbelieve it either, because he acts on a lot of things that he says too. Um, at the same time that he doesn't act on a lot of things that he says, you just have to find out with Trump. But do you think, I mean, they called for Mike Pence, they called for Nancy Pelosi, two different political parties, and they basically made death threats towards them, Republican and Democrats, on Jan 6. This one could be about healthcare from, not MAGA people, right? If it is, would you call it, political? Or would you say that it's justified anger? Would you say it comes out of a failure of the healthcare system? I mean, of the healthcare systems and, corporations being regulated, somewhat. I'm not saying lots of regulation, but come on, when you have record profits and you have also just doubled at the same time you have record profits, you're doubling the amount of refusals for people that are applying for care, right? That are already members. um I don't know, what do y'all think about that, y'all? Peace. What's up, Donnie? Yeah, let me know what you think. Let me know what you think, bro. I mean, who knows? But it looks like there's going to be some changes. And also, it's, to me it sounds political because of the timing and the reality. The reality and the timing, the politics. We're having a healthcare conversation. So in our politics, in our national politics. So that should be almost like, a wrap. But until they catch the guy, until they know for sure, we don't know. But check this out. Then you also have Syria. Look at what just went on in Syria. Now, the capital of Syria, boom, it's been taken over. The president, Al Assad, is gone. He's not there in the country anymore. He's gone. Um, so that changed suddenly, just boom, right? What else? There's a few other things going on down that seem like, might have something to do with the timing, the changing of the US presidency. But in any case, let me know what you think about the Syria thing, and this change in the wave, who seems to have more, say. Now, they believe that the U.S. doesn't have any direct influence over any of these groups, and they say that the group that has just made the ground in Syria, that the U.S. doesn't even back them, right? But it's because this group was said to have ties with ISIS, I believe, and even though they say they separated ties, yeah, But in any case, the U.S. is not actively fighting against them either, and the U.S. is not involved in any conflicts right there, right? But in Syria, regarding Syria, that's what the U.S. says, right? That's what you hear out of most Western media. But let me know what you think about that, Let me know what you think about it. How does it change your perspective? Because obviously Al-Assad was backed up by Vladimir Putin and Russia. So, yeah. Well, let me know what you think about it. And we wrap. We wrap. Peace, everyone.